Necronomicon: The Dawning of Darkness is a point-and-click horror adventure game from 2000, developed by French game studios Wanadu, who have since been eaten up by the similarly French studio Microids. The game takes place in 1927. You play as a young scholar named William Stanton who is thrown into a world of Lovecraftian madness. It's all from a childhood friend's sudden visit and a mysterious gift. It was released for both the PlayStation 1 and the PC, and although I love being back on a
official PlayStation controller
for the last video on Apocalypse, between those two options I have to go with the desktop version. Controllers are great for ease, but if I'm pointing and I'm clicking, the accuracy of a mouse wins every time. Being a PlayStation and lower budget title, you can probably prepare yourselves now for what the visuals of the game will look like. Let's take a look at the Microids website. Alright, if we take a look at the game's Wikipedia, that is a short little Wikipedia entry, isn't it? Yes, today's game is not particularly well known or discussed. Even if I went looking on YouTube to see what other videos crop up, I found very few past some long plays. Microids. That name, Microid, sounds familiar. Looking at the games published, they specialize in adventure games, with all the Dracula series under their belt. In fact, this game looks very like the Dracula games. The inventory wheel, some of the sound effects, the icons, the cursors, very similar to this, only maybe not as much budget thrown into it. Speaking of YouTube, if you like the look of this video or want to help this little channel, hit the subscribe button. So why did I choose this game? You're probably thinking that it's a beloved game of my childhood. Well, no. I have strong memories of seeing the big PC box in his store shelf, thinking the house and the presentation with his early 2000s face mid-anamorph in the sky of the artwork had a strong resemblance to something in the point horror category. Do people remember the point horror books? They were pretty cool. Not quite the audacity of a Goosebumps cover, but those are kind of works of art. But it has a desperation of wanting to be taken seriously. Sadly, then I probably wandered up a little further in the game shop aisle and found Soldier of Fortune or something with guns. What else is immediately obvious on this cover is Lovecraft's name being front and center. Mr. Lovecraft has been involved in the gaming world in some shape or form probably since the beginning. You know the type, otherworldly horrors turning people into babbling lunatics once seen, Cthulhu and old gods, slimy tentacle blob stuff, fish people and fishing towns, cosmic dread, madness from dangerous knowledge, etc, etc. It's become part and parcel of all horror these days. It's a very broad brushstroke swept across many a horror title, and since I haven't played this one yet, I can't vouch for how true it is in the case of Necronomicon. But I won't lie, it intrigued me. Lovecraft's writing has always fascinated me, despite his clear xenophobic issues disguised as terrifying creations. Point-and-click horrors were definitely on the way out in 2000, when this game came out. Arguably, they've never left, but compared to the height of the 80s and early 90s Sierra adventure games, the genre was slim on the ground. I wouldn't say I'm the most versed in adventure games. I love watching playthroughs and even speedrun videos, but the only games I actually ever played are Indiana Jones and Atlantis, Day of the Tentacle, and maybe one of the Broken Sword games, I can't remember which one. So after my Cold Fear video, I had a hankering for some more spooky times, this time definitely with less shooting, and stumbled across this on GOG. Will it be any good? Will it be a hidden gem I urge everyone to go and try out? Or is there a reason why nobody talks about this anymore? Let's get to the playthrough and find out together. Necronomicon begins with a man hurriedly making his way to our protagonist's home in what looks like 1920s East Coast America. We crap our pants and wake up simultaneously, and the game begins. If you frequently play point-and-click adventure games, this is all very familiar to you. A cutscene followed by you being thrust into first-person view to explore the surroundings. Move the mouse around to look in any direction in a pre-rendered background, and the mouse icon will change if you can complete any actions or interact, such as move in that direction or interact with an item. Me personally, I had not played an adventure game in some time, so it took me a while to get my bearings.
William.
What's going on?
Listen, to look at me. You'd think I'm not right in the head, but the reasons for my condition are far more awful than mere madness. William, what I've discovered goes beyond understanding. You just have to believe me. We're all in the gravest danger. For our friendship's sake, I ask you to look after this. Don't speak of it to anyone. Don't give it to anyone. Not even to me. Especially if I ask for it.
First issue with this game, no subtitles. And some of the fast-paced dialogue is a little on the quiet side. The audio mixing is... I wouldn't say the audio mixing is particularly even. I ended up watching long plays of this game on YouTube with caption on just to get around this, because there's not much else on the game. For your sake, I'll add some subtitles to important bits, and I'll also just sum up what they said afterwards. All these glorious creations. Look at that face. The man at the door is Edgar, our childhood friend, and he has come to us with a warning of being in danger, handing us a lament configuration.
The box. You opened it.
Pyramid-shaped puzzle item. That is an easy Hellraiser drop for once. With that, he buggers off and we are left to look at our item in our inventory. This wheel is exactly like the Dracula games. I'm pretty sure even the sound effect going into this menu is the exact same. And I also can't do anything with the item here. No pulling up the item to bring it into a 3D view to inspect and rotate and find clues on. It just sits there on the rotary wheel of fun. Heading back to our room, another guest arrives at the door, this time Dr. Eagleton, who tells us about Edgar's looming insanity.
I know Edgar too well not to notice the signs of insane delirium. Are you aware of the rumors circulating about Dr. Owens in Portaxit Village? I fear greatly for your friend. So do his parents, and some of my psychiatric colleagues are talking of internment. You see, I would greatly value your considered opinion.
This man looks like a baby that has fallen into some grey whiskers. He worries about Edgar possibly being thrown into a sanitarium and asks us to visit our old friend to find out what's going on. It's time for us to don our detective wear and begin looking. We grab our bike key from the study drawer and we head out onto the open road to the main town of Providence. Looking like a spooky abandoned Wild West attraction. Let's talk to the town locals and get exploring.
Leave us alone!
Please, I need information.
Yeah? Well, there's none here.
Take off!
Alright, that's just mean. Not the most welcoming of areas, very much tying into the Lovecraftian themes. We stumble across an old lady perched on a bench down an alleyway.
Go see Mr. Crumb at the grocery store. You can't miss it.
This merchant shop is going to be our commonly visited location of progression for the start, and we will drop many a coin into the hand of Mr. Crumb here. Let's talk about the cutscenes. We've seen a few now. Like the rest of the game, they are definitely a little bit stiff, maybe amateurish. This is the year 2000, things had progressed a little past this. I mean, in my last video in Apocalypse, I wouldn't say these are too much better, and that was 2 years before this. This is hardly cutting edge graphics. And yet, there is kind of a charm to how silly everything looks. You're not fooling me, baby man who fell into grey whiskers. To use inventory items, you bring up your wheel's right click, and then left click sometimes. I kind of hit all the buttons and hope for the best. Seeing the cursor change means I'm on the right track. We purchase our map and some matches, and Mr. Crumb sends us to Edgar's current residence.
Yes? Mr. Wycherley has gone out. Don't push it, he's out.
The gentleman can't have heard. Perhaps young Sil would like his ears unblocked for him. No, then scrap. Listen, my son. If you bother me again, I'll beat you to a pulp. You're dead meat.
Okay then. Alright then. Cool. Edgar's dad, father, tells of how worried he is for his son.
You used to be inseparable once.
You and he were buddies, weren't you?
How I wish he hadn't abandoned his archaeology studies. Personally, I preferred his archaeology period. Perhaps because he used to speak of it with passion.
We also look at a painting and the first reference of Gregor Herschel.
This is Gregor Herschel, who was a wealthy Providence shipowner in the colonial era.
A name that is going to come up frequently. Gregor was a wealthy man-to-do in Providence. Fingers in a lot of pies. With all the talk of Edgar's studies, we next move to the library to see what Edgar was researching in the newspapers. The library part is a fun little section. Definitely feeling a little more detective work here. We peruse the cabinets for relevant articles within the time frame the clerk said. Not exactly Poirot detective work, but this finally feels a little more engaging. Not puzzles yet, but you know, a little bit of thought has to go in. Look, we even get to move a stool. That's cool. From these articles we learn Gregor Herschel, what's his name? We learn Gregor Hersheybar made millions, became a ship owner, and was something of a philanthropist. We also find out about strange cemetery of vandalism acts, possibly grave digging, and a night watchman named Robert Hart. After all of this, where to next? With all the talk of Hirsch's association with shipbuilding, we head to the harbour in Providence. Are we going to find some fish people like in Lovecraftian stories? Some Dagon references, perhaps?
So then, young man, how's your research on Gregor Herschel going?
Jesus Christ.
Have a word with Blackfish. He'll tell you all about it. He lives in that small house down there.
This kind gentleman sent us to a nearby house where another sailor has more details about Gregory's past. This man is called Blackfish. Hey, good film. But he's looking for something to loosen up his tongue. So we head to the merchant shop to buy some alcohol. Evening, Mr. Crumb.
Well, I'll be damned. You are a good customer, sir.
Here. And it's good stuff, too.
Good. He wasn't one to shy away from crime, and he must have made masses of dough. Ah, good God. I'd like to have seen the face of the customs officer when he saw the cargo. It was Egyptian mummies. That ain't the half of it. You know, the strangest thing of all was how often he used to replace his sailors. Oh yes, the port of Providence has seen goings-on strange enough to make your blood run cold. I'm pleased you take an interest in these things, but you need more detail to get a clear picture. Oh yes.
Herschel was involved in crime, made his money through slavery and smuggling. But one day it was different. A customs officer found an Egyptian mummy in the back of one of his ships. Crew members were always being replaced. Lots of mysterious stuff in this man's past. And after that, we are set to yet another place, Royal Standard Bar across the road for more information. The plot finally started enticing me at this point. It's all talk to this guy, talk to that guy, he'll send you to this guy, go to this guy, and then he'll send you to here, blah 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 blah. But at least something creepy is emerging finally. To waste time until then, and because we are close, let's check in on our friend Edgar. See how he's doing. Is he more or less insane?
When you came to my house, you seemed very disturbed, as if you were in some danger.
Forget anything I said to you. I was upset. Let's forget it.
Dr. Eagleton is worried about your health. So is your father. Edgar, are you sure everything's fine?
I'm relying on you to reassure them. Everything's fine now.
This time, Edgar acts completely oblivious to us, confused as to any mention of his crazed appearance on our doorstep to begin this, with Dr. Owens constantly watching in the background, looming. We are chased off back to his father. Showing concern, Edgar's dad lets us take a look at where this son would study upstairs. Perhaps something could be found in this room. We search about and find the key to his home in a drawer. We grab that and break back into his current place to find clues as to what is going on.
What gives you the right to enter my house like this, stranger?
Edgar, don't you recognize me?
We are just stumbling across some notes and interesting letters when he suddenly catches us in the act, referring to us as a stranger.
Hello there, young William. Any news?
Yes. I went back to Edgar's house and was able to let myself in before he arrived. This is what I was able to glean from the letters I found. Edgar has been carrying out the same research as his ancestor.
You're right.
Oh yeah.
It's increasingly apparent that he is mad. And this Dr. Owens appears to exert the most harmful of influences.
Back home to talk to the good doctor. Remember, there's two doctors at this point. God, I keep getting confused between these names. It's Dr. Eagleton and Dr. Owens. We talk to the good doctor, Dr. Eagleton, to suggest that maybe internment is the best way of protecting Edgar from outside influences and his swift madness setting in. Edgar is being detained. Wow, that was quick. And so we can sneak about his place quickly before catching up with it. In a drawer, we find scribblings of a new location to inspect. Dr. Eagleton said we need to inspect the bungalow mentioned in the scribblings to see what the evil doctor was really up to. Evil doctor being Owens. God, these names.
The only place to find it is the bungalow.
I understand, Doctor. I'm on my way there.
We get a cinematic introduction to this new bungalow location, with ominous undertones of scares yet to come. Oh hey, it's the building from the front of the game. Let's have a snoop around. We stumble across keys to open up a broken down truck, or we find a crowbar, which we can use to break into the derelict farmhouse. We move a bookcase and find a hidden panel etched into the wallpaper, where we can use Edgar's key to unlock a chest, which we find a bronze emblem with Saturn carved into it, as well as a unique looking key. Scattered around the dark room we find logbooks of dates and activities unknown, as well as handwritten notes by one Gregory Herschel, with Yog Sothoth. Oh man, I'm gonna have to look how to pronounce this. Yog Shosathi?
Yog Sothoth.
And I6 and Shakabak. Snooping around some more in the back room, we move a barrel to reveal an ornate door of some type built into the flooring. Finally, a puzzle. This is our first actual puzzle. We can move the disc around using clues from the bronze item, as well as notes and scribblings and everything in our book inventory. And with the key as the final part, we unlock the covering and drop down into the deep underground. The sound down here is very unsettling. Echoes and creepy noises. We light torches to make our way deeper and further into the unknown. Noises grow louder. We eventually reach a door. Light up a candelabra to illuminate our surroundings, where we can pull a lever which operates something in the background, a gate dropping. Exploring the room further, we pick up a detailed but used lighter, which we can use to light the lantern I totally didn't miss on the way. With this light source, we can now explore the room opposite here, which contains an altar. Let's go exploring a little more. I had my lantern for all of 2 minutes and it's gone now. Let's get out of this room. Well, luckily I saved, so we can just do that again. Okay. Let's go this way this time. Alright, how about this way? How about... Well, we could go... Alright then. Okay, we can sidle along the circular wall of this room, maybe into the middle to inspect the well. The well looks fantastic with a light shaft emitting onto it. An axe is found wedged between the stony outcrop. Oh, come on. With that, we can break into the chest from the prior room and grab the key to unlock the locker to get the medical tools. Just beside this section is a dim corridor we can explore to find a corpse sticking out of a coffin, his hand covering a key. I don't know if it's coming across, but this section was genuinely creepy. God, not really so much music to really amp it up, but just an unease. It's a very welcome change to the game. Up until now, it has been mostly exposition, go here, exposit here. But down in the dungeon, I have a palpable sense of dread, maneuvering through these dim and grim tunnels. The next section is also the longest part of the game. Whew, okay, this section. So William has gotten into a dark room with science apparatus everywhere. First, we must Mr. Magoo our way around to the generator and feed it some coal. At least there's power in the room now and we can see what we're looking at. Now begins the slow process of gathering equipment, a lot of trial and error, lots and lots of trial and error, so much trial and error, so we can commune with the dead and find out vital information about the Necronomicon. I'm not going to show you the majority of this because, I'm just going to give you the main points. We talk to a brain, that's always fun. We read some books, find the right herbs, so much flowers. We find some keys in a drawer. We solve another disc-spinning puzzle as before, to get into a giant, creepy room full of urns. From the note we read previously, we need to find Elias Levy. Elias Levy. Elias Levy. This takes a while. I'm gonna cut this down because holy hell, I looked at a lot of urns. We grab his ashes with a little name tag sticking out handily. And we move on to the end room to begin the incantation. For this part, we need to set up everything in just the right order. Charcoal, put the right herb on top. Then we need to find the right... What are these pieces of paper? Tags? Death tags? Put that in the ground with the right gem. Light everything on fire. So much lighting on fire. This lighter has been very useful. Ignite the whole process and suddenly we get a very long cutscene explaining things.
I have nothing to do with Herschel. I'm trying to save my friend from the grip of madness.
Your friend is beyond redemption. Herschel is a sorcerer, a powerful and evil one. Death alone cannot destroy him. Follow these instructions to the letter. Herschel must be killed and his corpse dissolved in acid. The formula for using the portal is contained in the Necronomicon.
Who knows? Perhaps.
Wait, what?
As painful as it may be, we have to face the facts, my young friend. Edgar no longer exists. His memory has been erased. The man we know as Edgar is none other than Herschel.
As I discovered in the bungalow, stopping Herschel isn't enough. He has his accomplices. We must also discover their objectives.
Exactly. And that's why we have to find the Necronomicon.
Edgar, I have returned from the underground passages. What terrible secret have you unleashed?
If that were true, you would not be here.
What is the Necronomicon?
May the plague strike you down, you'll never find out.
That all happened very suddenly. Edgar is no more. Are there repercussions to this? Nope. Let's head off. We need to end this once and for all and find the Necronomicon. We can explore Edgar's house unperturbed now. On our return, we look in a little room underneath the stairs and find a slew of things. Letters anonymously sent, a bizarre statue. What is this? More letters, and of course, the Necronomicon. We need some expert help on books, so off to the fancy schmancy library. Look at this location. This is so much better than all the grim, dank, shitty other places. Well, we need to be involved in this as well, so we begin searching through books in the library and bringing back relevant information. I love this stuff. This is like Indiana Jones in the Venice Library, or any other scene in a million films. We gather our information and soon learn, and this is classic movie logic here, all the info is lining up with coordinates on a map. The final point of which is heading to a new location. We are definitely building to the climax here. In the barren field just out of Providence, we come across a decrepit structure. We inspect, and using our Hellraiser toy, I mean Edgar's pyramid at the start, we line up the shapes, use our medical bag key and unlock a passage down to the City of the Ancients. Cryptic underground passage of dread. It's a maze section. I would happily take Loki from Rune laughing at my attempts and restarting me over. Whereas here you just get lost and then stay lost. Probably best to save at the start. After this, we make it to another maze time trial this time. Choose your path on this little pad here. It's a fun little time trial puzzle. Heading through that central door, we get to the section where all the art direction went into. It's glorious looking. We are entering a temple to the old god. We chase Herschel into a giant underground structure. We have to trial and error press buttons over and over again to get through 2 separate sections of the locked doors. All looks a bit like this. Finally, at the last door, we hear Gregory chanting away. If you let him finish this, and the world will end forever. We need to click the stones in the correct order to unlock the giant door. Okay, let's try that again. We stop Herschel before he can bring about the old god's return and save Earth. After this huge endeavor of mind and will, how is William doing later in life? Let's check in on him.
How did I get myself out? I wouldn't be able to explain it to you.
Well, he looks cozy and has a nice beard. I guess that's a happy ending. To the reception mobile. Right, so finding any reviews and reception to this 2000s point-and-click adventure is, or was, not easy. IGN said, GameSpot said, Metacritic, GameFAQ, a 2004 review. You know what, I'll take it. User review or not, this is still something. Okay, this guy is a long old spiel, so I'm going to break it down into the main points of this review. The best moments in the game are sensory fleeting moments like underground tunnels of dimly lit spooky shadows or finding a light switch in the laboratory completely in the dark. Solving puzzles in a time limit before the chant, etc. was definitely unique at the time compared to more popular Dracula games. Have a walkthrough on hand. Yeah, I agree with most of this. Yes, I had to look up a walkthrough for certain parts, please don't shame me. I loved reading the notes and books and excerpts, but at some points I was completely baffled. The time sequences are kind of unique for adventure games around then, I guess. This is definitely not why I turned to this style of game. I want to get lost in the world and take it all in. All in all, I want a cozy experience rather than a panic. On Metacritic, I found 2 more user reviews. Alright, let's read the first. This one gives it an 8 out of 10, saying that it needs a remaster. It's too dark, literally, but the storytelling is very solid. I mean, I agree with all that again. This is a solid little review from this person. This one is in Russian, so I'm going to have to translate. Let's see here. Let's just translate this one. Okay, atmospheric and short. This game was about 2 or 3 hours, so that's true. But not good enough. 7,000 out of 10. Seems fair. Alright. Okay, how about me? Well, going into this, I hadn't touched adventure games in many, many years. Because I was either addicted to World of Warcraft or quick fix action gore jump scares. But settling back into a slower game came to me pretty quickly. Just looking through my notes and inventory, thinking of what to do next, exploring an awkward pre-rendered room to find clues, pixel hunting, all that stuff, with the Lovecraftian undercurrent teasing away in the background. Just let me be Poirot in my head for a little bit and solve a silly mystery and I'm happy. And in the end I got that from this game. Does the game do it all well? Again, I need to play more adventure games to know where this ranks among them. It's short, it's only about 2 or 3 hours, it's got funny CGI cutscenes with faces that I won't forget too soon. But this kind of story is one I love. I love the Lovecraftian small town weirdos, and all the knowledge being taught that will reduce your brain to rot and end the world. At the very least, this game made me want more adventure games as well, so it's got that going for it. So if there's other adventure games you want me to cover, leave it in the comments, or even just ones that I should play. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this is a hidden gem. Not for everyone certainly, but if you want a cheap adventure in this theme, it's a nice quick fix. Okay. I want to thank anyone who made it this far into the video by a tiny Irish YouTuber about a game from 2000 very few people know or care about. You are the true hero here. Hit that like button, hit the other button with subscribe on it, comment about this and that and anything at all. I really do enjoy reading the comments, so whatever comes to your mind. Share this with your friends, share it around. I'll have another video out soon enough, who knows on what. I have tons of silly shorts like this,
at the studio,
Mr. E-Machine
began to create buzz around the water cooler.
That
Mr. E-Machine
is some kind of something.
Whatever time of day it is for you, I hope all is well, and I'll see you soon.